How are you today? Well, I'm in from the cold today, and because I mentioned the other day Eric was struggling with a cold, I decided to pull out my good old cabbage roll soup recipe. And I have a little card that I use when we have little common elements. I actually picked it up at Walmart. It's called Vitamins and Minerals Quick Reference Card. And it has a little list on what you need to take, if you're warding off something like a cold. And this little chart says that we need to have an increase of beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin C, and zinc. And my cabbage soup recipe is perfect for that. So when Eric gets home tonight, we'll have this soup ready for him, and he'll be nice and spry and energetic to do the second part of our devotion. So in this recipe, for vitamin A, we have spinach. And it doesn't call for spinach, but I added spinach just to give it extra vitamin A, and I like spinach anyway. And pardon me, that's the beta-carotene, I'm reading wrong here. Also the spinach. But the vitamin A comes from the cabbage and any greens, which is again the spinach. And I'm throwing in some of my green and yellow beans that I grew in my garden organically. I froze a bunch just for soup because they are so healthy for you, and I like beans anyway. And then for the vitamin C, onion, loads of vitamin C. My brother-in-law says when he has a cold, he dices up onion, puts it in his socks and wears it to bed, and it pulls the cold out of his chest. Who would have thought, eh? And for zinc, it's the beans. The cabbage roll soup has ground beef, has ground beef in it. And actually the beans as well for the zinc. So we have my homemade or my home-canned, homegrown organic tomatoes, which go into cabbage soup. And instead of tomato paste, which is canned, and I suppose I could make it, but I don't, I make a tomato sauce, which is really thick, but it has all kinds of other healthy things in it, herbs, spices, and vegetables cooked in with it. It calls for rice, and calls for actually half a cup of rice, and I use brown rice. It calls for half a head of cabbage, diced up, 1 whole large onion, a pound of ground beef, 4 cups of beef stock, which I saved off my roast last time I cooked it, and of course salt and pepper to taste, and a little bit of soy sauce, and a little bit of thyme, and believe it or not, vinegar, and garlic. So these are the ingredients, and I've got most of the cabbage diced. I'll just finish it now. I browned the beef ahead of time with a little bit of, it says neutral oil, and I use sapphire oil. I find it really light and almost tasteless. It doesn't affect the flavor of your food. So I'll use my nice big Sadako knife that I got from Pampered Chef. I actually sell Pampered Chef passively, and I actually went into the Pampered Chef business because I love their cookware. I'm doing a little infomercial now. I'm not trying to really sell or promote stuff, but you'll probably notice as you watch me cook, a lot of the things I use in my kitchen are Pampered Chef products. It calls for 4 cups of cabbage, half a cabbage or 4 cups it says. So I'm just dicing it up because the cabbage gets wilted, lightly browned before we add the wet ingredients. So we just do the cabbage here. My husband says if I ever did a cooking show, it would have to be called a messy cook, because he always laughs when he comes home because I end up with anything that I'm feeding, I wear it. And anything I'm chopping, the floor wears it. So he calls me the messy cook. So if you're a messy cook, you'll understand. It's just really hard. I told him if we ever build our own house and we build me a kitchen, I have slightly more than 4 cups here, but that's okay. If he ever builds me a house and he puts together a kitchen for me, I want to have ceramic tile on the floor and a nice big drain in the middle of the floor so that I can squeegee down the floor when I'm done slopping around when I cook. When I got the puppy, I thought she'd do the floors for me, but she only grabs protein. The odd carrot. I have a little Cuisinart handy dandy little food dicer here that I like to use for onions. That way I don't get all the onion gases in my eyes and make me cry. So I'm just going to make a quick little noise here with my Cuisinart. I wish I had the whole set. but I don't know how to sell Cuisinart to get a bonus. Okay, here we go. Doesn't take long to chop something up in this. That looks good. Beating the onions up also releases the gases in them and the juice, so we cook down a little faster too. It wouldn't take too long, so I don't drop it on the floor and break it. Okay, so I have now, I'm going to use, how much thyme here? 2 teaspoons of thyme, so I'll put that in later. So I'm all ready to put the cabbage on the stove right now. I'm going to saute the onions, the cabbage, and the thyme. And I have another Pampered Chef product. This is my favorite cooking pot. It's actually a wok, but I do canning and everything. I make my soups in it. I love this pot. If it ever wore out, I'd have to try to get another one because I absolutely love my Pampered Chef cooking pot. And I'm going to reach for a sticky thing, but I don't have it in this drawer, so I'm going to get it in this drawer. Just excuse me for a moment. Like I said, you think I'm doing a Pampered Chef infomercial. My Pampered Chef spatulas here. Throw my onion out. Onions are so good for you. And my cabbage. 4 cups. See why I'm using the big pot to saute them in? A lot of cabbage. And my 2 spoons of thyme. Actually, this little spice set, you just set how many you need. I need 2 spoons, and every time I turn it around, it's a spoon. So there's 1. And there's 2. That's not quite 2. There we go. Then I don't have to mess up any spoons. So I'm just going to go and saute this, and then put it all together, add all my sauces and juices and everything else, my meat, my rice, let it simmer for 15 or 20 minutes. And when Eric gets home tonight, we're going to have this awesome soup, cabbage roll soup. Okay, just excuse me for a second. I'll just turn this a little bit so you don't miss me. And then, can you see the stove? Enough that I guess. And then I will talk about, put it on a nice medium heat. I'm just going to kind of like wilt the cabbage and saw, get the onions all cooked down a little bit here. While that's wilting, I'm going to read the first part of the devotion because it'll probably take a minute or 2, and I put the Bible right here. There we go. Okay. We're going to read Genesis 49:50, I believe. This is, oh, no, that's Thursday. We need Wednesday, pardon me. We're going to read Genesis 46 to 48. Yesterday we talked about Joseph and forgiving his brothers. It's so nice, you know, families often have issues that they deal with, and many families say they come from a dysfunctional home. They're, you know, wounded. I understand Joseph though because he was set up by his father, really. Okay. Okay, we're reading from chapter 46. We already read about the brothers coming. And now we're reading about Joseph's father coming to Egypt. Jacob goes to Egypt. So Israel set out with all that was his, and when he reached Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. I just give this a stir. Make sure it doesn't scorch. And God spoke to Israel in a vision at night and said, Jacob, here I am, he replied. I am God, the God of your father. He said, do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I make you into a great nation there. I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again. And Joseph's own hand will close your eyes. I guess he knows he's going to die there now. Then Jacob left Beersheba, and Israel's sons took their father Jacob and their children and their wives in a cart that Pharaoh had sent to transport him. They also took with them their livestock, the possessions they had acquired in Canaan, and Jacob and all his offspring went to Egypt. He took with him to Egypt his sons, grandsons, daughters, and granddaughters, all his offspring. These are the names of the sons of Israel, Jacob, his descendants, who went to Egypt. Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob, son of Reuben, Hanok, Pal, Hezron, and Carmi. The son of Simeon, Jemuel, Jamin, Obed, Jachin, Zohar, and Shishal, the son of Canaanite women. The son of Levi, Gershon, Kobath, and Merari. The son of Judah, Onah, Shalda, Perez, and Zahar. But and Onan had died in the land of Canaan. The son of Perez, Hezron, and Hamiel. The son of Ishkar, Tola, Peru, Jashab, and Simran. The son of Jebulam, Shered, Elon, and Zephleel. Theirs were the sons of Leah, born to Jacob, in Padam Aram, besides his daughter Dinah. These sons and daughters of his were 33 in all. Wow, I thought I had a lot of kids. The son of Gad, Zephon, Haggai, Shani, Ezbon, Eri, Adonai, and Ariella. I like Adonai. The sons of Asher in Imnah, Ishva, Bariah. Their sister was Sherah, the son of Berah, Heber, and Milchiel. These were the children born to Jacob by Zipporah, who Laban had given to his daughter Leah, 16 in all. The sons of Jacob's wife, Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. In Egypt, Manasseh and Ephriam were born to Joseph by Asenath, daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. The sons of Benjamin, Bela, Barak, Ashbel, Gara, Newman, Hili, Rosh, Machrim, Hibim, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel, who were born to Jacob, 14 in all. The son of Dan, Hushim. The son of Naphtali, Jeriel, Unai, Jeriel, and Shalom. These were the sons born to Jacob by Bilhah, whom Laban had given his daughter Rachel, 7 in all. All those who went to Egypt with Jacob, those who were his direct descendants, and counting his sons' wives, numbered 66 persons, with the 2 sons who had been born to Joseph in Egypt. The number of Jacob's family which went to Egypt were 70 in all. Wow. Okay, this is almost wilted enough to add the other ingredients. We'll give it a few more stirs. Now, Jacob sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to get direction to Goshen. When they arrived in the region of Goshen, Joseph had his chariots made ready and went to Goshen to meet his father Israel. As soon as Joseph appeared before him, he threw his arms around his father and wept for a long time. Now we have GPS. We don't need directions anymore. Well, sometimes GPS can't find it either. Israel said to Joseph, "Now I am ready to die, since I have seen myself that you are still alive." Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, "I will go up and speak to Pharaoh, and I will say to him, my brothers and my father's household, who are living in the land of Canaan, have come to me. The men are shepherds. They tend livestock. They have brought along their flocks and herds and everything they own. When Pharaoh calls you and asks, 'What is your occupation?' you should answer, 'Your servants tend the livestock.'" From out of boyhood, just as our fathers did, then you will be allowed to settle in the region of Goshen, for all shepherds are detestable to the Egyptians. Oh, that's so sad. I wonder how they take care of their sheep. All shepherds are detestable. So I'm just going to add the rest of the ingredients, and the video may stop because it's getting near the end. That was the meat. This is the garlic. This is the broth. There's 4 cups of beef broth. And a bit of seasoning from when I made my roast. Add a little extra flavor. My rice. And my beans.